Hi, in this video series I want to go over stretching exercises. I am requested to teach people stretching exercises more than any other exercise that I know of. Which, that's all good. Range of motion is really important, but some people want to know, hey, if I stretch and work on touching my toes, am I going to be able to mow my grass and hurt myself in springtime? No, not really. It is true, however, that if your range of motion is poor, that you have a better opportunity or probability or incidence may be getting hurt. As an example, if your neck range of motion is really poor into extension, you can only go back there about half the way, and you're in a car accident where you get your head jacked all the way, like way far backwards. A loss of range of motion before that accident can certainly set you up for a catastrophic injury. However, it's not strength building. So there's another video on here about strengthening your neck with a rubber ball. And I think that's a lot better way to increase your range of motion. But still, stretching is good. If that's your weak spot, that's what it is. So that's rule number one. Rule number two is, your range of motion needs to be symmetrical. So that means, how should you stretch? Well, if you're able to bend your head, 45 degrees to your left and, way farther than that to your right, or whichever way that is, well, you want to work to get your range of motion so that they match equally, which means in this case I want to stretch more to my left side. So, and the third rule of stretching any body part is there's only so many ways that they can go. Simple movements are flexion, extension, lateral bending, and rotation. And in some other cases like your shoulder, you have these other fancy terms called abduction and adduction and whatever they mean. But anyway, and then you have these complex ranges of motion where you can start adding things, which is what I'm going to demonstrate here in a minute. So let's go over the cervical series. But remember, you can do these to your low back just the same, remembering that it'd be my preference that you wouldn't simply stretch, but you'd apply some strength, some power, some gravity to these things. So things like exercise balls make these range of motion exercises much more effective. So for your neck, you'd want to bring your chin, hold your chest steady. This is not teaching you how to bend your neck forward. Okay, so your chest shoulder would be steady, chin forward for a period of time. Normal range of motion would be you'd be able to get your chin down to your chest. Now, when I was a kid back in the olden days, when I had to walk up to school barefoot, 20 below zero, wind blowing in my face and no clothes on, they taught me that I'm supposed to stretch like boing, 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 boing when I'm cold. Well, now that's not the best way to do it. It's best to stretch after you've warmed up. So if you go to the gym as an example, get an exercise machine or something like that for a few minutes, and then do your stretching exercises. You'll find out, especially if you get older, stretching when you're warm is similar to trying to smooth cold butter, on your toast. It doesn't work so well, but if you heat it up, it smooths lots easier. Yeah, if your body range of motion is better, is warmer, you'll stretch better, which is why hot yoga is great. I just love yoga, working your posture, working your balance, your range of motion. Even I can bend like Gumby when I go to hot yoga, so you ought to consider it. But I don't want to pay money. Well, I know that stuff I don't want to do. That's the people. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, oh yeah, extension. Bring your head backwards, same deal. You might want to open up your mouth, relax your throat here. It's not like a jaw exercise. Okay, so you get back nice and steady. Try to look at the ceiling. Okay, bending again, look for symmetry. You don't want to just bend at your low neck, you want to bend evenly through the whole thing. Okay, and twisting, same deal. Sure, go 90 degrees. This is not teaching your neck how to twist. This is. And then you have compound ranges of motion, which are actually my favorite if you got to stretch. As an example, you can rotate and then flex and extend. And as you do this, you may find areas that are stiffer. Like right there. And when you do, you can work through those ranges of motion to work to create symmetry. Same with your head and flexion. You can bend from side to side in extension. And shoulders, the same deal. You're looking for areas where maybe they don't move. And then But also when you do your shoulder range of motion, you can work to find areas that don't move by altering positions of your thumb or your hand. And if you find those areas of stiffness, those sometimes can be adhesions. You need to work through those. And also sometimes you hear, well, hey, when I do this, you know, I'm increasing my range of motion, right? Well, there's a difference between an adjustment and a manipulation. Meaning when I adjust somebody, over time, generally they require less adjustments as time goes on because their alignment is better. When they're doing a cracking, popping thing, they're increasing your range of motion, but you're also working to wear out the joints. Most people that manipulate their own spines find out that as time goes on to do it more and more and more and more, and has less and less and less reward or whatever you call it, and finally someday usually they go crack, and then they realize they hurt themselves really hard. So that is not the point of range of motion. So if you go through these exercises and things are trying to crack and pop and run, well, yeah, you know, that's not perfect, but that's not bad. You'd rather not have to happen. So low back exercises, same deal. You can only bend a couple of ways. You can touch your toes, you can bend backwards, you bend to right, bend left, you can twist and rotate. And standing, weight bearing is obviously better. So if you have any questions, call, come by, text me, email me, I don't care. You know, it's fun. Hey, write a Google review. And by the way, remember, you can refer new patients to Kriss Chiropractic, and we're always here to help. Thank you for your time and attention.